Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a die-hard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. We dive deep into all things NFL, and today, we're talking about America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. After yet another season of so close, yet so far, the million-dollar question remains: what can the Cowboys do this offseason to finally take that next step and become Super Bowl contenders again? Buckle up, because I've got the blueprint for Jerry Jones and company. Mike McCarthy is staying as head coach, but is he the guy to get the Cowboys to the promised land? McCarthy's playoff history has been, let's just say, mixed. Sure, he's got a Super Bowl ring, but that was over a decade ago. More recently, Cowboys fans have been frustrated by clock management issues and questionable decisions in big games. The team already has one of the league's best defensive minds in Dan Quinn, who's transformed this defense into an absolute force. Should Jerry Jones consider promoting Quinn if things start to unravel again next season? Or maybe even look for fresh blood outside the organization? Dan Quinn's success is undeniable. And speaking of defense, Micah Parsons is an absolute beast, but even superheroes need help. The Cowboys' defense has been a strength, but there's room for improvement, especially in the secondary. Trayvon Diggs is a ball hawk, but they need more consistency and coverage on the opposite side. Adding a reliable cornerback in free agency or through the draft could make a huge difference. How about beefing up that defensive line too? The pass rush has been solid, but depth is key in the NFL. A dominant interior lineman who can disrupt opposing offenses could take this unit from great to elite. Okay, Cowboys fans, it's time to address the elephant in the room, Dak Prescott. Is Dak good enough to lead this team to a Super Bowl? The truth is, he's good, sometimes great, but he hasn't consistently performed at an elite level in the playoffs. The interceptions last season were alarming, and while some of them weren't entirely his fault, he's got to clean up his game. This offseason, the Cowboys need to focus on simplifying the offense for Dak and maximizing his strengths. Kellen Moore is out, and now Mike McCarthy will be calling the plays. While that might sound risky, it could actually be a blessing in disguise. The offense last season often felt predictable, especially in big games. McCarthy has a chance to inject fresh ideas into the system, but it's all about balance. Speaking of balance, how about running the football more effectively? Tony Pollard has emerged as a star, and while Ezekiel Elliott's best days might be behind him, a thunder and lightning combo could still work if used correctly. The Cowboys' offensive line isn't the dominant force it once was. Injuries and inconsistency have taken their toll. If they want to give Dak time to throw and open up running lanes for Pollard and Zeke investing in the O-line, this offseason is non-negotiable. Tyrone Smith can't stay healthy, and while Zach Martin is still elite, they need reinforcements. The draft is loaded with offensive line talent this year. Could we see the Cowboys use their first-round pick on a tackle or guard? It wouldn't be a flashy move, but it could pay off in the long run. CeeDee Lamb proved he's a legit no. One receiver, but the Cowboys need more weapons to complement him. Michael Gallup struggled to regain his form after injury, and while Brandon Cooks was a solid midseason pickup, they need another young playmaker. Imagine pairing Lamb with a rookie like Marvin Harrison Jr. or signing a proven vet like DeAndre Hopkins. That kind of move could transform this offense overnight. Now, let's talk money. The Cowboys are always tight against the salary cap, but they've been masters of restructuring contracts. Jerry Jones needs to work his magic again this offseason to create space for new additions while keeping key players happy. Restructuring Dak's deal or moving on from underperforming veterans could open up room for that big splash signing. It's a delicate dance, but one that's crucial for staying competitive. Now, what do these possible changes mean for the rest of the roster? If Doc goes on IR, the Cowboys will turn to backup quarterback Cooper Rush, and this could shake up the entire offensive strategy. Cooper Rush has been a reliable backup, and he's stepped in for Doc before. But let's be real, he's not Dak Prescott. This will likely mean a heavier reliance on the run game, with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard carrying much of the load. Of course, all of this leaves fans in a state of shock and anticipation. Doc's potential absence, the possibility of trades, and the adjustments needed for the offense and defense have everyone on the edge of their seats. Cowboys Nation is hoping for the best, but they're also preparing for a challenging stretch of games. This is where true fans buckle down and rally behind their team, hoping that these changes, however big or small, will ultimately help Dallas reach the playoffs and make a serious run. Now, I'm not saying McCarthy doesn't have respect from the team. He does. But there's a different vibe when you listen to players talk about Quinn. There's almost this unwritten rule in the locker room that Dan Quinn's the guy who runs the show on defense. He's the one who gets them fired up, he's the one they turn to, and he's the one who's made this defense truly elite. Let's face it, every player's watching. Every single one of them. And they're asking themselves, who do I trust more? Who's got my back? And if they all start answering that question with Dan Quinn, then that could really be a problem for McCarthy. And it's one the Cowboys organization will have to address, especially if they want to make a serious playoff run this year. So what does this mean for the future of coaching in Dallas? There's already speculation brewing. Will McCarthy be the head coach next season? Will he even last through the whole season? Some fans and analysts are already calling for him to be replaced if the Cowboys don't make a deep playoff run. And with Quinn already there, the Cowboys have a guy waiting in the wings who the team already respects. Zeke and Pollard have proven they can be a dynamic duo, but this new setup will be a true test of the Cowboys' offensive line, which will need to create running lanes and protect Rush as he manages the game. To wrap it all up, the Cowboys have the talent to compete, but the offseason decisions they make will determine if they stay stuck in the playoffs or finally break through to the Super Bowl. From fixing coaching issues to improving the roster, every move matters. All right, Cowboys Nation, now it's your turn. What do you think the Cowboys should prioritize this offseason? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more NFL content, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys! Let's make 2024 the year